If you could talk to Emeline from 10 years ago, who was depressed and suicidal and all that stuff, what would you like to tell her?
I would tell her that it's perfectly safe just to be herself.
Perfectly safe just to be herself.
Yes.
And do you think that would have shifted her experience a lot to have heard that from her
No,
future self?
no, she needed to go through it. Suffering is still at the level of consciousness will exist, the catalyst for awakening. Um, so it's one thing to understand something intellectually. It's different to inhabit that truth experientially. And I, I heard people say that in the past, and I was just like, oh, goodness, ridiculous. But I am grateful would be reductive. I see. It's not that I'm grateful for my suffering. That implies a sort of binary system with good and bad. I see suffering as an absolutely necessary and paradoxically, even if it isn't, divine chapter of coming home to myself. I see now the absolute necessity of suffering the way I did. Um, I I wish maybe I would have uh, understood the nature of surrender earlier on, because I maybe would have needed to suffer a bit less. But it's it just happened the way it happened. That's it. And I responded to what happened at the level of consciousness I was at. I didn't know any better. Um, but there's a quote by it's one of my favorite plays by Edward Albee in the Zoo Story, 14-page play. It's really sort of nothing, but it's absolutely beautiful. And one of the characters, Jerry, says something. He has a long monologue, and he starts by saying, I'm going to tell you the story of how sometimes it's necessary to travel a long distance out of your own way in order to come back a short distance correctly. And that's it. It's the movement of expansion and coming home. And one can only happen if the prior one took place. Um, yeah. So a long distance, but then you come back a short distance correctly.